Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Sorry about the delay. OBS had an update, and the update apparently meant that my computer was going to be assaulted. So, looks cool though. Alrighty, so I'm not really going to delay here. It looks like everybody's here with us. You're late. I am late. But if I change the time, then technically I'm not. I tried to change it to, see, it says 8:30. I'm on time. Alright. Alright, I'm just pulling up TikTok here. Alright, 1 second. Alright, so, last name? Last name, what are you talking about last name? Tardy? I get what you're saying. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started with our news as per usual. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It was nice and relaxing. I got to spend some time with the family, just chill out. Hope you guys got to do the same. So, we are going to look at the week ahead of us. So last week, right, we saw the S&P down 3.35%, the NASDAQ 5.65%, the Russell's 2.55%, and the Dow 1.4%. Chinese stocks rallied back on rumors that the country was reducing its COVID restrictions, but for the most part, most sectors were down. That's actually... let's see, after closing its best month since 1976, the Dow snapped its 4-week win streak. So the top story was the Fed sending stocks into a tailspin despite hiking 75 basis points as expected. What changed is Jerome Powell noted that the terminal rate might be higher than they first expected, and rates would have to stay higher longer due to the lagging effect of the policy on the economy. October's employment data was better than expected, and the historically strong labor market remains as a major headwind for the Fed's fight against inflation. As a result of the Fed's policy decision, investors remain reluctant about growth stocks and many tech stocks, tech wrecks this weekend, with several stocks falling more than 20% in a single day. So, and of course, looking forward into the week ahead of us, right? We do have the economic calendar. Of course, if you guys are on TikTok, make sure to tap your screen. It's very, very much appreciated. So, let's go to Forex Factory. Of course, you guys can check that out. The week ahead of us. Oh, shit. Wrong one. All right, so Monday. FOMC master is speaking, but other than that, low impact data. NFIB Small Business Index, IDP tip economic optimism, and China inflation rate. We've got Wednesday, really nothing big. We do have some oil and 10-year bond auctions, but then Thursday we've got CPI. So remember, Wednesday might be one of those days. We got CPI month over month, CPI year over year, core CPI month over month, and unemployment claims coming in as well. Friday, just University of Michigan consumer sentiment as a high impact data point as well. Hey, what's going on? If you guys are actually interested in the free trial, it is up as we speak. All you got to do is go to your browser, and type in simplestacksinvestment.com and scroll down to the bottom. You'll tap on whatever subscription. I just hit the monthly and sign up as you normally would. And then as long as you have Discord linked, it's going to ask for permission. Save your key. Please save your key. And only do this if you have been with me for a minute. If you guys have been free on TikTok for a minute, that's going to be really important, because we don't want you guys hopping in here just thinking that we're your regular signals group. We're not. We're here to help people become independent traders, and we have proof of that, day traders at least, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Despite, we do get a lot of people hopping in and then hopping out, but that's usually because they expect signals. And I do signal, and I tell everybody exactly what I'm doing, and I teach while I trade. But the most important thing is that you can do all of that. And we have a lot of members who don't pay a single dime and have never done that, but a lot of them have trading experience and are able to kind of tune into what I'm saying a little bit easier. But anyway, so onwards. The next week ahead of us is the lull in earnings. So we've got our economic data, but our earnings ahead of us, we have some kind of bullshit companies. GRWG used to trade this thing from $4 to $60. I made a lot of money on GRWG. Easy play. Not gonna play it this time though. Despite the lucrative business, you guys should look into this one because it may be a future growth stock, even though the CEOs are scam lords. Anyway, picking up on Tuesday, we've got Disney, AMC, Plug Power, Mara, Vaxar, Ride, Blink, a couple of those. Wednesday, Roblox, Beyond Me. I actually took a long short on Roblox, and you guys can quote me on that one. There's no reason that this shit should be around $40. It's been inflated. My signal was Roblox March 17th, 2023, $20 put. And these are $85. Where can I find earnings report and how do I understand that? Well, bigger market caps, they're gonna, if they fall, that can pull the overall market down. Apple, Tesla, Amazon, stuff like that. But it's usually the individual factors. So, you've talked about account balance barriers. How did you overcome them? One of the things that I had to do was build up an amount and the confidence to move into a larger account. So that would, Mandy talks about this a lot, but taking profit. So when I did hit my target, I took profit. Didn't matter how I felt, what I thought I could do with it. I took the money out of my account and I started back over. Even though it was kind of discouraging, it was kind of nice to have control over the fact that I was about to lose or no longer have access to that BP. Whereas like, it's more defeating to not ever have access to that money, period. But I did that several times, over and over and over again. And eventually, when you look back after a couple of big plays and stuff like that, I had around 80 grand. And then it was a little bit easier to move into a larger account where I did simulated trading with scalping and stuff like that, just to practice technique and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was kind of like where do I feel comfortable? Or what am I trying to execute in a certain amount of time? The risk to reward that I can capture on a smaller time frame is more lucrative for somebody with more liquidity. But with somebody who doesn't have the liquidity is unfortunately not going to be able to access that, though. Make sure to tap your screen. I got banned on my other account, but I do have a side account. It's linked in my bio, I think, too, as well in the link tree. So, all right, that's it as far as the week ahead of us. Now, time to get to the overall ETFs. So right here we have the QQQ. We'll take a look at SPY and stuff like that. Of course, futures are down, but they're not down bad. They're kind of in their bottom range. And we'll talk kind of about where that's at. It's likely that QQQ, and I haven't looked at futures in an hour or so, but 262.50, that's going to be one of those marks that we recovered and was under control. And let me explain this a little bit deeper for those of you guys who are new. So let's move that right there. So right here, that is the 262.65, 262.50. That is that main support. Right? We saw support over here, and that is that main resistance right here. We closed above it. If we open below it, right? If we open below it, that increases the likelihood. Now, there is a possibility for a gap fill, right? And then a poopy. right? As Ellie would say. Now, on the contrary, right, if we were to power up and open up above, and really I would say 265.70, then we could use this as a retest mark and possibly see a move back up. And really that's it. But long term, right, I do have a really nice trend. You guys will notice that the standard deviation channel here is well respected across the board here, here, right? So when I see that kind of thing, that's a confluence, mini confluences, that's enough for me. So can't nail down a strategy to save my life. I'm going into tomorrow with no BP for the uptick that it feels like I can't now. Listen, Telethor, write down exactly what your strategy is as of right now. And that means whatever that you've been trying to execute. Because a lot of the times it feels like we're trying to execute a strategy, but we're still all over the place. So write that down, take a picture, and send it to me in the Discord. And I'll send you some feedback. So CPI, yes, we did talk about CPI as well this week. So anyway, price targets to the downside. I've got this projection here on QQQ. That has the Qs down around the 230s. Now, if we go look at the weekly time frame, we can go and look back and see that that is no bullshit target. That is right there. That is the COVID highs. Look at the confluence. Ooh. So, with that being said, I did take an upside swing. I'm not scared because I didn't put a lot of it into it. I made a lot of money last week. But it's one of those things where I'm not going to let that be a bias. If we end up moving down, we end up moving down. And a lot of stocks, including the Qs, did break down out of these wedges. These wedges. The wedges. Channels, whatever, right? Broke down. This is typical of a pattern like this, right? Of people thinking that you have that support break and then that candle close right there is indicative of a reversal. You could have also seen that by checking your downtrend. So, Potter, check Discord. I added something on Discord that aligns with this. Okay, can you explain how to identify chop zones and gap fills? How do I identify chop zones? So, I mean, really, I look for previous chop. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I go look for areas like this. So, chop. If you're moving, here's the way to look at it, right? This right here is the bottom is 286.50. The top is right here. Look, I can see a little wick. I can see the candles closing right there. I can see the candles closing right there. So all of this, right? And really, you could bring it down even lower and bring it down to 291. But so say we reverse and we rip up to the upside, it's not going to happen. But let's say we rip up into the 290s. If we are in this area with high volume and positive sentiment, it's no matter, right? You set it up. You find the median within that zone, which is going to be around 289.25, maybe just a little hair high, 289.60. That's going to be where that median's at. And if you make your way into that area with no volume, then that becomes an area that you're like, or if you head into that area and you have economic data that is likely going to be impacting you soon, then that's also, right? Maybe earnings week, earnings season, whatever. That's going to be an area that may end up impacting you. So, have I checked out Neo? No, but I'm still holding my short on it. It's been up almost 80%, and I still haven't TP'd. That thing goes in the money or it dies. So, okay, so that's a thorough breakdown on QQQ. Now let's move over to Tesla because you guys know this is all we do. So, getting right into it, let's start with the 4 hour. Tesla, right, made its way back into the box, okay? And I know that the box isn't as pretty as it usually is, and granted, I don't need all of this, so if you are, new to charting, I was kind of sending some charts out, verifying some people's levels, but This is more or less, you know, what it looks like for me. This area, this zone below us, inside of the box, right, is essentially separating bullish from bearish. If we can make our way above 213.65 and 215, that's going to be, and I'll move this down. I actually just deleted that line on accident, but 215.50. 215.50. So if you were to make your way above 215.50, now I want you guys to pay attention to something here, because this is exact. People ask me all the time, how do you find price targets? Okay. How do you find price targets? How do you do all that? When I spot a confluence, right? And I know some of you guys are like, what is, like, and I've had people ask me, like, what does that mean? Confluence for me is essentially where, say, this level, right? And I can't accurately project this now. But what I can say is that if, right, Tesla, ooh, shit, and I gotta remember how to use this thing. If Tesla pulls something like this, you know, and reverses to the upside, okay, that right there, and that's obviously not real, I just made that up, but that right there, right, and that could be, you know, some sort of wedge or something like that, this 212, right, would be the confluence, right? Or this 213.50. Why? Because we have a mathematical downtrend, right? We can mathematically agree on this. And not only that, we have a solid price level that we can see has been respected across the board for weeks. So that's what a confluence is, and you can find confluence, and I haven't even pulled up my EMAs, but like, say I'm on the 15 or something, and the 200-day moving average, right, the orange line, ends up curling down, and let's do this for example's sake, because I'm trying to teach while I give you guys my watch list, so do a little bit of both. Hold on one second. So let's say that this kind of creeps down and is right about there, which is kind of drastic, more than likely not gonna happen like exactly like that. But if that was going to pull down, then that would be a extra data point that would add to that. So my price target, so if I said to myself, all right, we broke down below 203, we made a new low, and then we opened a candle or pushed up above the same level that sellers are supposed to hold, my target on that squeeze would be 212, period. And I would hold, and my stop loss would be 203. I would enter here, or would find another level, right, that is imperative to hold, like a 206 level. So anyway, that's Tesla, and moving on from the projection. Actually, so funny enough, we closed on the hourly 9-day moving average, and more than likely we're going to find ourselves somewhere in here, kind of chopping around, especially given that we don't have a ton of data. If not, I could see, because I'm thinking we're going to open up, and I'm not 100% on this, but I'm thinking we're going to open up somewhere in here, like 205.80 or 205 even, or 205.50. I'm thinking we're going to open up around there. So I could anticipate a gap fill just a little bit higher, maybe 208, and then a rejection and pull back down, where we could see 200, 199.80, and then I think that yes, there is actually a possibility to kind of wedge it out and see a reversal. 1, 2, 3. I have not ever once, well, maybe a couple times, but very seldomly do I not see that theory, right? Because 3 times usually is enough to exhaust sellers or exhaust buyers and to identify whether they are strong or weak. If something like this were to occur, where we saw Tesla wedge, right? So I did some, obviously this is jacked up, but Tesla wedges out like this. This is just, a wedge is just descriptive, right, of buyers stepping into those sellers, right? And usually it's a little bit more drastic than that. But every time that sellers push it down for a new low, buyers will bring it right back up to retest, and then they'll continue to buy into those dips until eventually shorts are exhausted and then you pop. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention for on Tesla. We'll discuss it more in depth tomorrow morning while we're on live. What exactly I'm going to be doing, those of you who are going to be trading with us live, we'll discuss a little bit further on what we're going to be doing going into Monday morning. So anyway, thank you guys for your time. I am going to take some requests. So if you guys have any stocks that you're wanting me to take a look at, happy to do so now. And if you guys if you are on TikTok and you have a request and you want it to be right now as we speak, there's 135 of you. If any of you want your request taken, hit the link in the bio, drop just one person, drop a $, ticker request, and then hop right back on YouTube. The link is in the bio. It's Simple Stacks Investment. But that way your comment doesn't get deleted, because I can only see 3 comments at a time. Potter, thanks for listening to your live and your guidance. Awesome, man. And of course, it saves you from having to spam the chat. You just have to wait. I go in chronological order. So thank you. I appreciate everybody who is hopping into the YouTube. Okay, first thing is first. What is this? All right. The first one on the request list is EQT. Did you already talk about how you broke through your mental account balance walls? I did. Did you leave? Thank you, boss. You're the man. Of course. Yes. Hit the link in the bio. Go hop in the live YouTube stream. It's right here. And look, I see your comments right there, and they don't go away, so I can actually keep track of them. So, and there's only 35 people in here. Well, no, there's 84 views, so there's 84 people watching, but they're lagging. All right, so let's break into EQT. Kind of sounds like a compliment. Whoa, what the hell is going on here, my boy? All right, let's I don't know what's going on here, so we're going to, okay, I see what's going on here, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything, and we're gonna start fresh. Excuse me. Yuck. All right, so I'm gonna start with a little bit of math, like that, and we're gonna bring it up like that. I don't know if I like that too much. Let's go to the 4 hour. We're gonna extended hours time frame. Okay, so that's a deviation channel right there that you're back inside of. This broke out, and a lot of this actually happened in extended hours. I believe that's a news. Yeah, I believe that was news. So that was brought back. That's a correction, and that could probably be measured by cloning. Oh shit. Cloning that, and oh man, that's money. Look at that. So perfect price target. You popped up and hit that second standard deviation channel. So that's really none of your concern at the moment, but you are bundled up against it. So I see a 4 hour or maybe even a daily flag building here. Okay. So we're going to go down to the hourly. We want to measure. So now we need to figure out, we need to establish where are sellers and where are buyers. This is how we're going to find price targets, entries, exits. This is how I'm explaining this all. I'm giving you guys my strategy every night, every single time you guys see me chart. I'm setting it up the same way that I would set it up if it was my play. All right, so looking at it right now, it appears that this is kind of your box, right? The demon box. And we got, so do you guys remember what I just told you about a 200-day moving average and a trend line and a median all intersecting, or a trend, like a key level? That is what you see right here. This is 4150 and the 200-day moving average and a trend line all colliding, hitting at once, which brings me to the conclusion, right? Because ultimately, if I wanted to, because let's go back up and kind of break this down. So if I wanted to, right, if I wanted to be a little bit more stringent, I could go and look and see that if I mark right here, right, you see this mark, this is 4115. There's a wick off of that. There's 2 candle closes there. There's a wick off of pushing down. And then this candle closes underneath it. So I could, right, bring my zone up here. Now, what does that show me? That shows me that this area between 4150 and 4115 is going to be tough. You need to definitively close a candle above, I'm going to just call it 4150. So I'll mark that a little bit more. So 4150, right? We can go back and look, right, and see that at that specific level, right, is when stocks either make a decision, at least in this area, on whether they're going to move up or whether they're going to move down. The good thing is that this support underneath you that I marked out, which is the $40.60, that is now your floor. So look at these 3 candles. Do you see how they close kind of right around that same level? So you opened a candle up on top of it and you popped up and hit that 4115 that I just talked about. So it would make a lot of sense if you dojied, right? Or if you could just simply push a solid candle through. But don't be surprised if there's some sort of build here, or if you even go and hit 4150, reject, and if that candle closes bearishly underneath 4150, then you could end up seeing a reversal. And then the reversal, right, if we wanted to take EQ, the fuck? Speak English. If I wanted to take it down, right, I would more than likely be looking here, right? So breaking back into basically the $40 level, losing $40.15, that would mark where I would be looking for a move down. Oop, shit. Down around there to the 38.75 level. All right. Ooh, come back here. All right. So the next one we got. Looks like a lot of you guys are hopping on the YouTube channel. Lillian, if you don't mind, only one. So tell me which one that you want the most, and yeah, I'm working my way down. All right, so AMD is the next one. So I actually have this one, I think, well, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, but I think I have this one kind of pinned in terms of where it goes short and where it goes long. And that's right here. Hold on one second. And we're gonna color code it for science. Now, it's funny because most people would think sellers are here and buyers are there. That's why most people lose a lot of money. But, right, here's a 50% mark for you down there. There's a 50% mark for you. That's 61 flat. Nope. Yep, it is. It's $61 flat. So here's the deal. We've got basically AMD anywhere below $59.50. We should see the median here at 57.80 tested. But there is trend, okay? And that's kind of what's most important is trend has been established. And we need to go and verify that. So right here, you can look at it with a standard deviation channel, right? Or you can get fancy with your trend lines and see that this is a bear flag. It looks stupid. Hold on one second. There it is. So right here, the reason why I am cool with moving my trend, right, without having confirmational bias is 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. And then that candle right here opens right at that resistance and falls. So looking at it, to me, on the higher time frame, it is definitely playing out more like a bear flag than anything else. Now, because it is a massive bear flag, if futures reverse and we see any candle open up above 62.50, that could be a leg up into the 63.40s. But I'm telling you right now that right there is somebody taking a massive short. There is a big sell wall here, and you can see that sellers are basically desperately trying to keep AMD down. So and that's really what I got at the moment. Green above 62.26 and short above 59.55. But you're so tightly boxed in, and I would really go look at like go look at the daily. You know, like the daily's pretty gnarly looking. You know, if you wanted to just and this is a good way to identify trend too. You know, just to keep it a little bit cleaner. But I just saw something I didn't notice before. So I do notice that this candle closed above where all the other candles don't, but that's not a very positive close. So not really enough. But here's the last like bear flag. Here's another bear flag that we ended up breaking down from. So this one's awfully extended, and any move to the upside would spur a squeeze, and AMD goes straight to $67.75. Not guaranteed, but I would be willing to put some money on it. That's actually this. Listen, keep your eyes peeled on AMD. I'm actually going to set an alert on this one because it actually looks pretty good. I think if you more, if I use more lines and provide me more clarity. Each one of these are key levels that I've spent time identifying, and they're important in order to project and as far as risk management, entries, exits, and stop losses. So if they're there, there's a reason. I think if you did more lines, maybe you'd be more fun. All right. Sorry, I had to drink my liquid death. All right, so AMD, the next one we got is Meta. Let's do it. A good entry on Meta for me would likely be, again, I would say that obviously $64 is a good spot to keep your eyes peeled on. But I would say that what's important for an entry for me is to know exactly where things would fail. So any candle close, and I could go to the hourly, so an hourly candle close underneath 62.35 or 62.25 would likely be indicative of a pullback. That being said, there's also on the lower time frame what appears to be kind of. So you might see AMD actually drop and then pop, but regardless, I would say candle open above this wall, and then if you can hold that first hourly candle above it, then I would be looking at targeting that gap, because that is a nice looking gap. All right, so the next one we got is Meta. So this one, falling out of trend. My target, again, I know I've repeated myself. It is one of my kind of like, yeah, I did that, moments. But Meta is currently outside of my trend. It's gone. So all I have on Meta, because it's off limits to me. I made more than what I would ever make in a year of, like doing any other job just off of Meta. So like my greed factor there and attachment emotionally has to be garnished in some way. So I kind of have to be the person to do that. But as of right now, it is in basically a tight, choppy downtrend. And it looks like, and we're going to find out here shortly, whether this is viable. It is. So nice little deviation channel there. Perfect little trend. Thoughts on Polkadot? Looks nice. I like it. I bet you'd look great. I don't do any charting for any cryptos. My opinion on most cryptocurrencies is that governments are going to step in and all cryptocurrencies are going to die. You might get some big pops in between here and there, some money making opportunities, but I'm also not a crypto guy, so I keep my opinion, to myself. You know what I mean? I just do the stocks. But, Sean, I hope Polkadot goes to the moon. So, let's do this. You want long, you want short. I'll show you what I would do, where I would do it, and how I would do it. Well, started to sound a little suspect there. So, boom, right? And we're going to keep the area above us nice and tight. Boom. We're going to 50% it. Bop. We're going to move this over. We're going to consolidation area is there. Boom. Little 50%. Pow. Oh, shit. That's the wrong line. All right, 89.40. Okay. So what you'll notice here, and this is actually really cool. So if you gap down, right, to 90.30, listen, this is a major imbalance and probably a gap, right? Is this a gap? It's not a gap. It's a major imbalance. Easily, with any sort of squeeze, right, this easily goes back up, right? And that would be out of trend. But the target there would be 92.85. Simple. And I know that sounds like silly, but here's the thing. And I want to explain this because if you're on here and you struggle holding your contracts or holding your positions, and then you exit too soon and watch as your contracts move higher and higher, more than likely you're watching the 5-minute. Keep the hourly up and don't take it down. Don't do it, because people get so wrapped up into the lower time frame. If you found the setup on the 4-hour and you see that the hourly candles are all closing on at 95.85, but not on the 15, right? You see, like, obviously the wicks or candlesticks, then it would have to be an hourly candle close below or above that to verify that level, period. That's my rule of thumb. And so if, say, Meta closes a candle underneath $90 on the hourly, then that would be my indication to go ahead and not look for a short entry. That is my short entry. If you break through the ceiling back into your floor, then you would want the ceiling to be, I'm going to use a stupid metaphor here, but if you're rappelling down to the bottom, wouldn't you want to hook onto the ceiling, to the top? Dumb metaphor, but it makes sense to me. But anyway, so you would need a candle close underneath that, or open the candle, right? Especially if a candle opens up underneath it, that would be especially bearish. Because and then at that point, right, you start aiming lower. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 off of the bottom. You've got more than 3 off the top. So any move down would exhaust buyers, or if buyers end up pushing this higher, would squeeze the dog shit out of it and it would move to the upside. So metaphor on meta. Yep. All right, let's keep it moving. That's a good chart though. Look at that. That's borderline sexual. Oh, so am I allowed to say that on TikTok? Probably not YouTube. It does say not meant for kids. You want me to chart DWAC? Let me do it. Ready? Oh, sorry, wrong one. I'm just kidding. I'll look it up. We'll look at it. All right. So if I'm gonna look at DWAC, I'm also gonna brag a little bit. And I wish I had all the videos of me talking shit about DWAC, talking about the fact that it was gonna go to teens. I talked about it, so you can't brag too much if you didn't do shit about it. I didn't do anything about it because I don't trade shit like this. But I knew it was gonna go to fucking zero, or more than likely gonna keep falling. And I stand by that. Very low volume trading, but there's like these definitive. The thing about DWAC that I can see right here is there's these definitive ranges that it's just really easy to spot where these levels are. These key levels are above and below you. Easy retesting level, short accumulation level. So we'll kind of identify where those levels are at right now. So I guess I should pull the other one on top over. If you have any questions about what I'm doing tonight, or you're watching this later on, DM me on the Discord. I'll also say this: if you buy our membership, be there in the morning, be there live. I'll alert you guys, that morning, in the announcements. But be with us. You can unmute yourself. There's a lot of people willing, and I don't say this any type of way, but there's people who do and are willing to pay, for extra time, and I'm giving it out for free in the morning. So if you have questions, Mondays and Wednesdays, I will never be live early. Those are days that are just for my mentors. But Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, be on. You know what I mean? And ask me questions. Because I mean, from walking you through a strategy, or how I or recapping one of my trades, I'm gonna do it. So be there, especially if you're paying. It's from what I can tell, we have a cheaper Discord. It's $65 a month, but we want mutual. If somebody's giving monetary value to me, I'm going to give them their value in return, especially if, obviously for $65, but like I'm gonna be present, and I'm present for the majority of the time, sometimes all day, sometimes for the first 4 hours of the day, sometimes on and off, but I'm in there bright and early, so you guys make sure you're there kicking it with us. So be there or be square. No. But if you guys are welcome to, if you guys are looking to sign up, we do have the trial is closing tonight, for the monthly. You're not allowed to do lifetime or yearly if you guys are on TikTok, and have never been in our Discord before. It's off limits. But you guys are welcome to do the monthly trial. Check us out. Obviously we want to make sure you guys are, it is a good fit, and that learning and trading options on your own is actually something that you're trying to do. So I'm gonna give you this: DWAC short 1555, DWAC long candle open above 1850. Trend wise, I wouldn't pay a ton of attention to it, but for whatever's sake, my price target on DWAC, oh god, that says that shit's gonna go negative. Maybe $6 is the next stop for DWAC. So you heard it here first. What's my best play tomorrow? Tesla. Might take some earnings plays, but Tesla always is pretty much what I trade every single day. I do trade other stocks, occasionally a Microsoft, an Apple, Nvidia, AMD, but only if I really, really like the setup. And the mutual, or what is it, a symbiotic relationship that we all have here is, if you're watching here, my analysis, when you guys ask me for setups or looking at the market, I also get to go scan the market for setups. You know, so like if I see something crazy, which I'm going to share with you guys, of course, but if I see something crazy, you know, I think I found Netflix that way. We took a short on Netflix before FOMC and absolutely crushed it. And then some lunatics took it long and made a ton of money. So I want to try to trade MRO. Turtlicious, dude, listen, my G, you know that you have access to my DMs, dude, you know, on multiple different platforms. And you also have access to the Discord. If you're there, man, and you really want to make this work, dude, you know, focusing on one thing, maybe have taken a break here as well. Be live, man. Be on live trading. Even if you have like an earpiece in or something, just listen in and, you know, watch how we win and watch how we lose, how we manage those losses, how we manage those wins, and also how, like, you know, these positions are taken, and then how we manage those emotions that we're working through. But you can unmute yourself, dude. The Discord link is in my bio. If you guys have any request, I want to take your request. I'm working through the list right now, but the only way that I'm going to be able to really do that is if you drop your request in the live YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. I'm live right now. We're actually going to go and take a look at what we got next on the list right now. So we're done with DWAC here. SPY and Netflix are on the next are on the docket. So let's take a look at SPY. Looks like a crackhead's been here. So interesting. So let's kind of reflect on what we got going on here. This is gone. A lot of the times TradingView brings back all of my lines, but we have a broken downtrend. That's number one. That broken downtrend has been retested. That's number two. Now, number three is that we can go back and look, okay? Now, travel down here with me. Rejection, right? Oh, shit. Get back there, motherfucker. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is all 378.50. Candle open above it, new upside, right? Candle close bullishly, pushing off of the bottom and closing up at the top. Looking pretty bullish, decent volume. You see a release, a squeeze, right? Why? Why do you see a squeeze? Because sellers are here, and if they have to get out, they're going to go back up, and it's going to be pushed up to the next area where sellers are either going to take a stand or they're not. And that has happened at that level again and again and again, right? Look back here. Same thing. You get rejections here. You get a candle close under there. You get a bullish candle close above that level. And really you could give it, you know, the full 390.80, right? Because you get a breakout and a retest and then a run back up. So I've done Meta. You still have an active account. Thought you'd be wiped out by now. Are you serious? Dude, no. I'm far from wiped out, actually. I've been doing quite well. Yeah, not a bullshit trader, so we don't do the whole like hype shit. I trade with a realistic amount of money. If I was trading, I'll tell you guys this right now. If you're following somebody who trades with, if you don't have anything over 10K and you're following somebody who trades with 100K or 200K, there's no point. You just stop, because you're going to get eaten alive by market makers, or you're just going to be trying to catch moves that there's no risk to reward for you, and that's important to pay attention to. So just a word to the wise. So anyway, the difference here is if we give this a 50% mark, I trade with a relatively like 30K is enough, and I take about 2,000. A light position to me could be range from one contract to usually about $800 to $900, and then going in regular size position. Usually I do 5 contracts or somewhere in the range of 2,500 to 3,000, and then I usually a strong position I leg in with the exact same amount. In the link in my bio, the YouTube. So right here on SPY, you wicked off of the top zone 378.75, and you closed underneath right here at this key level with kind of this long-legged doji. The median is 375. What did I say up there? 378. That's right. 375 even. So candle open underneath that 375 would likely give you more downside. Now, the one thing that I'm going to, because I know a lot of you are like looking at this doji and you're like, well, candle closed underneath it and it didn't go back down. Go back over here and look at this level. That's kind of where that is where you closed on top of. That's 370. And that's also obviously an FOMC. But look at a doji is not a continuation candle for the most part, right? A doji is an indecision candle. So in indecision, you stay in range. And so you re-enter that range, drive shorts out. And also think about it. It's Thursday, going into Friday, after earnings week. A lot of people are getting out of positions as well. Thank you for the follows, guys. Remember, if you guys are following me or watching me, I will have to start a new TikTok. And it's _ PotterStocks, and it has backup in the title. It's a picture of me. Looks like I'm by a waterfall. But if you guys follow that, I will probably at any moment get absolutely obliterated off this app because somebody is, again, paying their hard-earned money to try and keep me banned. Yeah. Meta is already done. I've done Meta. Meta is in the YouTube. And so with that being said, I will go ahead and say definitively show that we close below 370. And I know that seems typical, but if you close below 370 bearishly, you should see a move down. My first target on SPY would be 367, and then ultimately the floor 363.15, 356.65, and then probably a new low. Yeah, and that's it. That's it on SPY. So the next one I got is Netflix. Ooh. I don't know if anybody played. Fuck, man. I gotta start. I think I actually did see the alert go off on this, but this is money, dude. That's money, dude. Wow. Okay, so first of all, this is about as beautiful of a rising wedge as you're ever gonna see. You get nice waves in there, multiple rejections off the top showing that sellers are obviously exhausted, and you break down. Not only do you break down straight through your floor. And remember what I said about opens, right? You drive down bearishly at the end of the day into the 375.80 level. You open up on the 200, retest 375.50 that you've retested multiple times here. That's how you made a new high. And you fail. Sellers step up the next day and they push it down on a new low. So Netflix back up above 366.50. That's where you could possibly see some sort of bullish potential. Maybe from this high or swing high, there's something, but I don't really do a lot of that trend stuff kind of in these situations until I see something definitive. But moving into the 4 hour, Netflix is pretty straightforward, especially as in terms of where it's at now. Take a peek at this key level. This is 351.33. There's a 200-day moving average sitting right on top of that. You get multiple rejections here. Open up underneath 250, and you should see new lows for Netflix. I would anticipate new lows. Now that, holy shit, no way. 1 second. I just noticed something. No, I don't think that's right. No, that's not right. Okay, I just wanted to see. I thought I saw a massive channel in here, but unless there's one in regular hours, which I still wouldn't agree on in those terms. Let's see. A little bit. That's just that looks like the potential for a melt up. So cool setup right here on Netflix. Gap to fill, major confluence on Netflix at the 250 level, right? So yeah, you break back below 247 and 250, you should see Netflix making new lows. So, do you do TA on the 1 hour? What's up, Toilet Talk? Yeah, we'll do that next. Do I do TA on the 1 and the 4 hour? So typically on a new stock that I haven't looked at in a minute, I'm gonna start on the weekly, right? And the reason that I do that is because the weekly, because it's a consolidation of data, right? It's going to show me where everything ended up, right? The weekly, it's easy to drop these levels here, right? Because I can go and identify where the majority of these candles closed or didn't close, right? Or retested or broke out and retested and, you know, whatever. Same thing here, right? Massive drop in volume, by the way. But same thing here, right? The weekly allows me to establish where those levels, most important levels are. And holy fuck, sorry. But look at Netflix with the 9-day moving average and 20-day moving average confluence. There is a multiple time frame confluence on Netflix. If it doesn't bounce off of if it moves below 250, I would send anybody listening, I just pick one person from the premium Discord and just send them $200. Below 250 Netflix candle close, you get a new low on Netflix. Not immediately, but anyway, what's next? All right, so I did AMD, I did SPY, I did QQQ and Tesla, Sudhakar, Rajulu says SOXS. We're gonna look at Apple really quick first, and then we'll look at that one. I'm gonna switch back and forth. I'm sorry, I broke my train of thought. Anyway, I start from the weekly, grab my zones, grab my key levels, and then I work my way down to the daily. I find trend on the daily, and it's very important. I go to the 4 hour and I go to extended hours and I go look at where trend is at there. You might have to do it on 2 separate charts and 2 separate files, so that way they don't overlap or do anything like that. But I established trend on the daily and the 4 hour. The 4 hour is a good cleanup area for the daily. And then on the hourly, I go find those little tiny zones that you see me trading in and marking out. I establish this type of stuff. So I go on Apple and I can say right here, if Apple was to open back up above 139.22 and basically 140, because that would be a 75% mark here in the box. That would be according to Darvis theory. that would be a reversal, right? And we can mark, these areas, because just because you break into the box, if you go and tap a level and reject it, that's obviously not bullish. But so set up my little zones in here, and then I go from there. So you need it. No, you know what? I love that you said that is too complicated, because anybody who says that just doesn't. And no offense, even though this is offensive, you just don't have what it takes to trade. There is always everybody wants it easy, and every guru out there sells this like, my strategy is simple, one simple way to make money in the market. No, dude, you gotta fucking grab whatever reproductive organs that you have and be focused on the journey, learning, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, in order to keep yourself growing. Personal growth, financial growth, educational growth, literacy, in the market. I just personally, if you want to go to my YouTube, I've gone over my strategy like 4 different ways. I'll try and recap that when I get done, but I also explain my strategy almost every single day that I trade live. But anyway, yeah, man, I understand, but this is, and what you just said too, I had somebody cancel their subscription with us on Discord, and the comment that they left kind of blew me away, and it literally just said, too hard. Just straight up, too hard. And I just thought to myself, that's okay. That's okay, because I mean, this is something that actually, like, because I'm maybe a frustrated content creator where, I do see that a lot of people are getting scammed, or wrapped into shit that they don't belong in, $100 and $200 and $500 accounts trying to change their life, signing up with Team Bull Trading, who's scalping, quick contracts in 5-minute candles, and there's no risk to reward for you there. There's no growth for you there. But they're going to continue they're not going to tell that story. So it's one of those things where I only want to work. I want to work with the people who want to work. If you're already working and trying to do it yourself, I can help you. If you're thinking that buying something is what's going to fix you, no. That's not what's going to fix you. You're going to do that. And if you're already doing that or trying to do that, and that's especially with my mentors, the people who I mentor, like, I selected each one of them because they were already trying to make personal progress. And I picked them because they have those qualities that I'm going to give you my 100%, I expect you to already be putting in 100%, so. Hey, if I lose more money trading than make more, do I still pay short term? No, I think you can write that off. Nothing's wrong with scalping the 5-minute at all. The thing is that if you have a 30, 50, 60, 25, I don't know why I went backwards there, but 100, 300, 50 or 500, $1,000 account, you scalp away. I could, well, first of all, let me say this. If I traded on $500,000, right? I could trade it. I would trade all day. I would never stop. I could trade a lot of you guys watch me, and I'll predict a 3-minute candle, a couple 5-minute, 10 minutes worth of 3-minute candles, something that you could play if you had a lot of liquidity. I don't want to do that. I'm not in this. I found that the less that I concentrate on getting rich, the better I do, the better I've done. You know what I mean? The more that I want to hit home runs and be the bet, like, I'm not looking at anybody else. When if you're going, if you're running forwards and looking sideways, you know, like, and looking at somebody else or looking at other people's, like, you're just gonna trip and fall and shit. So, anyway, let's keep. I'm gonna keep going with you. I know I'm talking my ass off right now, but anyway, Apple has established that there is a key level at the 134.50, 134.40 mark. So I would be watching that for new lows. Apple's weekly tells me that there is. This is gonna be tough. 134 is gonna be tough to get underneath. It is, because this is this fucking crazy pit right here. So if giving you another target to the downside, I would say 131 is next, and then basically 129, right around that wick. But I would be focused on 126.65 and 125. So. Yeah, dude, team bull trades, Aristotle Investments. I will stand on this hill forever. But if you are wrapped in, or if you're using those type of assets to advertise what is unachievable, okay, I'm gonna just say it. If you haven't heard it out here, it is unachievable. Even the people who make millions of dollars off of buying some random stock, the percentage of people who lose that money, all of it, is incredibly high, because this is very easily slipped into gambling. So you have to be careful. So that's why I actually had this discussion. It's a podcast in itself, but it's like, I fucking hate the stock market. I hate the entity that it is. I hate what it causes. I hate the greed that's all of it, right? And my lack of I say I hate it. I don't care. Like, I could care less. I don't like a lot of the aspects of it, but there's not an emotional attachment to any company at all. I don't give a shit about any CEO. I don't give a shit about their earnings. I don't care about anything that, like, obviously I want people to have jobs, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're a company and you put yourself on the stock market, you're now, Wall Street's got you by the balls. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's where, you know, these companies just become fucking small company eating machines. But regardless, you know, those are my personal feelings. And the stock market doesn't care about my levels. Doesn't care. Nobody cares. It doesn't care about, you know, my opinion or my thought process or my feelings on it. So my lack of attachment allows me to operate within the stock market and take what I need. And because I have also, I understand almost like from a philosophy standpoint, that if you come into it and you're looking to take as much as you can carry, you're not going to make your way out. It's just a matter of a little bit at a time, right? And that little bit can compound and become, when you're disciplined. It's discipline that every single person struggles with. Being able to shut it down, turn it off, and just go robot. You know what I mean? If it doesn't break your stop loss and hasn't hit your target, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So anyway, I think Team Bull does a good job with chart analysis. Listen, if you want to go to Team Bull's website right now, you can learn how to trade pennies from a guy named Dumpster. So if that's where you want to put your faith into a guy named Dumpster, that's what the average. I'd pull it up right now, but I'm not about to advertise for him. But sure, I mean, maybe he does good charts. I know a couple of them do, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they've been sued, still are under, have some legal pressures on them as of right now, still sell bullshit dream theories. still do charitable acts on camera in order to gain sympathy for viral content. Yeah, not my thing. So why are they getting sued? False advertisement. Some lady in there lost like $120,000 under mentorship with them. So not just like they guaranteed it. They had to go and change the wording and shit. Sorry, YouTube. Let's move into SOXS. SOA. This is why I'm starting a podcast, so I don't waste any time when you guys are on YouTube. I know you guys probably like, shut the fuck up. What's poppin', Steven? Scooped up 350 called Netflix. Okay. Near 20, what we need is more exchange in Japan. Oh, dude, you got Japan emoji. That's cool. Yeah. Let's take a look at SOX. So first of all, this is a straight line. No, just kidding. If you had a really nice body and that's all you talked about on your podcast, would that be a podcast? I've gone too far. Ooh. Yo, I love when charts are set up like this because it's really easy to set targets. It's really, really easy to set targets. That's money, dude. Put it on a cracker. Little 50% mark there for you. How about this? Candle close underneath $55. Gap fill. If you close at, well, the gap has been filled. If you close underneath $55 bearishly, I would anticipate, yes, a SOXS moving down ultimately, right? Ultimately to, actually, so we're going to stretch, so this is that level. But as far as a target, right? And we're going to be looking for confluence. I just discussed confluence with you guys, right? And we can't predict confluence until we get into that range. But if we're looking at projections, right? Obviously, you know, nothing's a straight line. So just looking at the trend itself and holding that same energy, right? I would look for an area, and I would just, you know, obviously projecting there, but I would look for an area that obviously is intersecting. So if this trend, right, so say it's 43.40 or say it's 45.60, for me I would say 43.50 would be the nearest confluenced level, or a level, and I'll mark it out for you guys. So it would be the nearest level that we could possibly hit in the next 2 days, right? If we squeeze up and we see semiconductors move. So much love, Potter. I love that we keep it real out here. No, man, I'm not saying, so, you know, and I also wanted to say this. I'm not saying you can't make a lot of money doing this. I make more. I mean, I lived off of 28, 25, sometimes less $1,000 a year. I mean, I lived off of nothing. So to improve my lifestyle by $100 grand, like, what is there? There's no. I'm a low maintenance individual. The majority of my money gets spent at grocery stores and food. I eat a lot. I like food, but and that's it. You know, I don't really. I've got cyber trucks that are. I've got 5 of them, but that's a business expense, and I'm starting a business with them. You know, but that's capital. You know, so like I don't put my money into, like, you know. But I also have made enough to do those type of things. So it's something to strive for, but not something to run into dreaming of Lambos and thinking that you're going to. It is unachievable to go from $100 account to a $1 million account without some sort of cheat code. Thank you, Pano. Good, you, Mac. Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tapping your screen. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Make sure to go back and watch this video. I was just posting in the Discord. Any thoughts on Cybertruck? This is the Tesla. This fucking alien spacecraft. I would tell you what I'm doing, but I'm doing it in a city where I really just don't want any Ford competition. But I got a really good idea, so I'm gonna do it. Anyway, all right, let's keep it moving. So the next one we got is, look, you guys could watch me hit you with an ad. Look, watch. You know what's funny is if I hit you with an ad, it's probably gonna be an ad for another trading surface. Let's see, in the next, let's see, what time is it? It is, and you guys have a delay too. It's 9:36, and the next 4 minutes, or no, 2 minutes, if there's not at least 15 likes here, I'm gonna hit y'all with one of the ads. Who knows what it'll be, dude? It could be a personal lubricant commercial. What are you gonna do then? It's gonna be weird. I'm not gonna tell you. All right, so anyway, next one is, and we're gonna do a few more, guys, and then we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. SEDG, SolarEdge Technologies. Are you thinking it's a cup and handle? Because it does have the vibe. It's got the vibe. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna do the fucking baby are coming for a ride. So I really don't like when trend looks like shit like that. It looks like poo poo. But I can get down with something like that. So handle-ish, but if you see anybody leave analysis like this, trash, right? We don't do that. This is what we do, right? We establish an area. Looks like sellers like to hold it down really at the 233. So the reason that it's difficult, I'm going to tell you guys right now why it's more difficult for me to find and establish where resistance is because I don't have as much price confluence, which means I don't have as many resistance taps at a particular price mark in order to mark it as a definitive price level. So I have to go back and look at previous price levels in order to identify and verify that those levels are indeed the levels that I need. That was pretty sweet. And that I like the level that we have currently looking back at the cup and handle. So here's how I'm gonna break this down, right? SolarEdge looks as if it has a resistance here. And it also very much appears that it has one there. Now, I would imagine you're probably gonna get some choppy upside or yeah, some choppy maybe up and down upside and possibly hit that 224. Maybe a 200-day moving average confluence. Oh, sorry, TikTok. Maybe a 200-day moving average confluence right here at 224. But 224 and 226, that dollar range, are going to be definitive on whether or not SolarEdge is going to break out bullishly. But what's important here is also to identify where things go short, right? And for me, I would say stay out of there. Stay out of this zone, and SolarEdge is okay. Fall in this zone, candle close. you're dead. It's well, here's something I used to do, but I don't. It's actually a strategy, right? Yes, I do have an idea of where something may go, but I don't listen to it too much, right? It's almost like, I don't know. It's almost like the light blueprint that the first light blueprint, like, okay, this is what might look like, but then how it's executed mathematically afterwards, that's different, right? Because I have to make sure that confluences are found, and stuff like that. But when I started making definitive statements like, it's going to do this, right? Very seldomly has that. I say that, but I've hit a good chunk of them. But, for the most part, it's just on a daily basis, right? Long term, yes, not too bad. But short term, daily basis, like every single day, doesn't really pay off for me. So, but that's just me. Some people are different. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do another one. Oof, barely missed that ad by a second. Carter Young says, "I'll cry myself to sleep." That actually releases a lot of chemicals in your brain that help you sleep longer. So maybe a good cry is what you need, buddy. Get something off your chest, This man's name is Grape Backwood. It's a good name, dude. I'm trying to find where the fuck. I cried a little after the World Series. I don't even know who won. Do you know how free I feel? Free. Yeah, you could see that as a channel for sure. Yeah, 100%. This could definitely be a channel. It could be its new downtrend, leading it ultimately down, right? We could see it from here, from this area, make a move down, something like that. So, but who knows? Just want to say thank you for all you do. Oh, no problem, man. Glad this is helping. I'm sorry, what did I... Bank of America. All right, y'all. Make sure to... make sure you guys are in the Discord. I am doing a purge tonight of all the non-active members, and then just because we... security purposes. But we do have the trials closed tonight. So we do we do quick spurts, let a bunch of people in, let them figure out what they want to do, and then we go ahead and we'll let more people in. So I will close that tonight because we have had quite a few people sign up with us. So I'm excited to trade with you guys tomorrow morning. I'll be live around for you guys probably around 8:15 or 8:30. And then live for everybody else around 9. So, ETA, don't cut me. I'm new. I want to stay. What happened? Cut you? What are you talking about? Did you say something weird? Meta? Oh, I've already done Meta. Scott, go to my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. I've done a bunch of those. So, I'm not gonna say on the Cybertruck idea. I gotta keep it secret. You'll see it. You'll see it when it happens. I'll post about it. But I don't have a Cybertruck yet, so. If you have not, go to the announcements channel and just make sure that you interact with the post. So. Alright, so Bank of America, daily time frame. It looks like we're going to go the weekly. Yes, so sentiment change line or area where shit changes. Right here. So, Bank of America, I'm going to call it at, yeah, I would say a candle open above 37.26, more upside for sure. Candle close underneath 35, we're going to call it 35.50. Would likely drive you down, and this is your true zone. You've got a huge confluence with the 200-day moving average and your 50% mark. And then the bottom here, this is 1, 2, 3. This could be a great opportunity to short banks down into their gap, 31.67, and support of $30. Maybe even new lows. There's a big ass gap at, hold on a second. See, that's the type of shit I'm gonna write down, because Bank of America is cheap as fuck. And you could day trade it and grab some longs, depending on what type of, I'm gonna write Bank of America short, and we'll write down the details tomorrow, so. The best bank stock? I don't really have a, I mean, I guess JP Morgan, right? Bank of America is probably right there too. Berkshire. Like I said, I'll purge myself, so I banned him. He's being sassy. Don't be sassy with me. You can send me a friend request on Discord. All right, that seems like a good one. So hi, if we were from South Africa and can't really manage the sign-up fee because of exchange rate, Sean, DM me on Discord. We'll figure something out. I have to figure out a lot. That we have members in Japan, Italy, France, Hungary, everywhere. Off the coast of Texas, and a boat. Yeah, it looks short to me. Well, one may be like, that's a double bottom, right? But me, I'm like, I kind of want to short that thing. You know what I mean? So, but who knows? Maybe the banks are just on a dip. I don't think so. All right, anyway, I will look at any more stocks, guys. I'm done. I'm tired. I've had a long day, but I'll look at any other stocks you guys have for me tomorrow morning. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be live. Make sure to be in the Discord and have the announcement channel up. And we'll let you guys know when we're live. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody. Peace. Thank you.